Are your passions your own, or are they a result of consumer-minded programming? We're going to talk about that interesting concept right now. We all have a lot of different passions, a lot of different things that we like. And something that I've been thinking about is that there's a lot of things that I'm interested in that didn't come from an internal desire. We live in a consumer-minded culture, and we live in an economy that requires constant consumption. And my apologies, getting a little too political, a little too real, but it's kind of necessary to make the point I'm trying to make. In order for kind of our society to continue functioning the way that it does, people constantly have to be buying things. And because of that, we're inundated with propaganda all the time telling us to consume over and over and over again. And a lot of our interests that we have are based around the idea of consumption in order to sate that passion that we've picked up. But I think a lot of the passions that we have are either embellished or actually forcefully introduced into our psyche from advertisements, from this propaganda all around us, and that if we were left to our own devices, we either wouldn't be nearly as addicted to these things, or even worse, we might not even be interested in them at all. Let me try and explain this a bit more clearly with the actual example that happened to me. One of my biggest kind of obsessions and addictions right now, and really for my entire life, has been technology. I love technology. I love building computers. I love digging around with computers. I'm obsessed with cell phones. Just the idea of what technology can do and what it allows. You know, the fact that I can talk to people all over the world, you know, by uploading this video I take with this device that can capture my words and my image and put it on the computer and share it with tons of people, you know, from the comfort of my own home, is just crazy interesting to me. And because of that, I make lots of purchases that I probably really shouldn't make in the grand scheme of things with my such limited funding, to just kind of sate and continue to perpetuate this interest and this passion. But so many of the purchases I make are kind of dictated by this constant propaganda of needing to purchase things. A couple days ago, if you follow me on Twitter, you probably noticed that I was like contemplating buying a $2,500 computer that I'd kind of put together the parts list on Newegg, despite the fact that I have a computer sitting right here that I finally fixed a couple weeks ago that's more than capable of carrying me through the next 3 or 4 years of work. It's like specced out pretty well. It's not the highest end, it's not the prettiest thing, but it's Core i7, 32 gigs of RAM, SSD, and an hard drive. It's gonna get the job done. So in terms of like what I need, I don't need a new computer, but because there's this like consumption-minded economy that I live in, I'm constantly being bombarded with all this stuff to buy and buy new things. Whereas by taking all this time and spending all this money and energy on cultivating this technology addiction, I'm putting my actual passions that came from an internal source on the back burner. And for me, that's my creativity. That's Sorcerer's Sloth. That's making videos for this channel. Those are the things that weren't forced upon me or kind of cultivated by this culture that I'm immersed in. They were things that appealed to me intrinsically, and I chose to cultivate them because I wanted to, not because these external pressures kind of coerced me into it. And so I guess the question and what I'm leading up to here is to reflect upon all the things that you're interested in and all the things you kind of spend your time doing, and ask yourself how much of it is kind of this exercise in excess luxury that you're kind of being bombarded with by outside stimuli to indulge in, and how much of it is things that you really care about doing. Because at the end of the day, I don't need a new computer. Do I even really want a new computer? It's kind of, it could go either way. You know, my computer does everything fine. A lot of the times I've bought new cell phones, I've bought new computers and stuff, and I've plugged them in, I've got them ready, the excitement was really there, and then I turn it on, and it's the exact same experience of what I had before. There's no difference. But when I create something, it's always a worthwhile payoff to the build-up that I was doing. Whenever I create a new page, or a new video, or a new drawing, it's always a good feeling at the end of it. I've never sat down and made something, and at the end of the day thought, that was a waste of time, I shouldn't have done it. So I think that passion's more pure. It's more something that really truly aligns with who I am as a human being, and not what I've kind of been forced and coerced into becoming as a good consumer. So I don't know if this is going to help. This is just kind of something I wanted to comment on, is that I think a lot of the passions that we have are definitely expanded and kind of manipulated by media and stuff, when at the end of the day, I think we can be a lot happier if we just kind of pursue personal passions and not buy shit so much. So, my name's Tommy Oliver. You guys have been watching Rebel Pixels, a channel all about empowering and impassioning the DIY creator here on the web. Work on your art. It's so much more important than buying shit. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you thought it sucked and you like buying stuff, give it a thumbs down. That's fine. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about consumerism versus artistic integrity, if you want to get all, crazy and overblown about it, I guess. Every week I make videos just like this, whether it's kind of ranty advice sort of things I've learned on my path of trying to be creative on the web and all the hardships involved in doing so, or more technically focused videos about products that kind of go against the very point I just made. So, hypocrisy, great way to start off 2016. So let me know in the comments below what you think. I'm definitely going to be joining in the discussion. Until next time, I'm Tommy Oliver. This is Rebel Pixels, reminding you guys, we might be indie. That doesn't mean that we're alone. Catch you all next week.